I'm Batman.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me? Who's got you?
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you expect.
I'm Captain Kirk.
Welcome everyone to a special Geek This Week presentation, and this is the Incredible Hulk Lou Ferrigno Panel from Pensacon 2018 at the Pensacola Little Theater in Pensacola, Florida. Lou Ferrigno, famous for playing the Incredible Hulk in the Incredible Hulk TV series along with Bill Bixby. Lou Ferrigno also has been in several movies. He's played Hercules twice in Hercules and the Adventures of Hercules, Sinbad of the Seven Seas. He's also done voice work of the Hulk as in the Incredible Hulk, the Avengers, and Avengers Age of Ultron. He's also played himself in The King of Queens, and also played himself in the Paul Rudd movie I Love You Man. So sit back and enjoy this special panel with Lou Ferrigno. Just a couple of notes. This panel was shot at a weird angle. This was due to the fact that my friend had already recorded the panel before it, and he had set the camera up very close to the stage, and when the Lou Ferrigno panel started, we were unable to move. Two, there will be a little jump toward the middle of the panel. This was due to battery dying in the camera and having to change out batteries. Otherwise, please enjoy this special Lou Ferrigno panel from Pensacon 2018, and please leave a like on this video, and please enjoy all the other videos on the Geek This Week YouTube channel. Thank you.
Welcome to Pensacon, guys. How's it? Who's excited? Who's having a good weekend? Awesome. You guys seem like a really invigorated crowd. I'm excited that you guys are all here. Are there any first-time guests, attendees? Wow. That is a lot of people. Well, let's just get down to business. Our next guest is an actor, a motivational speaker, a fitness trainer, a professional bodybuilder with several major titles to his name, including Mr. America and Mr. Universe, of which, by the way, he holds the Guinness World Record for the youngest person to ever win Mr. Universe at 21 years old. That still stands. He also is known for, of course, the Incredible Hulk. His career spans 4 decades in TV and film, and he has also been in shows like King of Queens, and he was in played a part in the Avengers, actually, as well. You may not know that he helped do the voice acting for the character of the Hulk in that film. So he also has been all over, traveling, doing great work throughout the country with charities. But without further ado, I want to welcome Mr. Lou Ferrigno.
How are you, everyone? This sounds like Pensacola. Wonderful. I've never been here before. It's a great town. You people are fantastic. And I'm having a great time. White beaches, nice people, good food, great production, like the book. And we have a great interpreter, Christina, here, deaf people for sign language. But anyway, before we get on to Q&A, I want to say a few things that, growing up as a kid, at the age of maybe 6 months to a year, I lost like 80% of my hearing. So I had a severe speech impediment. I was bullied as a child. And my life was about overcoming adversity. So I've learned to change all that. The reason why I'm telling you this is because all of us, every one of us, has what you call a superstar quality inside of us. We don't allow maximizing that. Because I was told when I was young, you can't. But all that changed because I followed all my dreams and my determination to succeed. But it's funny that when I was very young, about maybe the age of like 9, 10, 11, I was obsessed with power. But I had no way to turn, so I used to read a lot of the Hulk comic books, the Superman comics. I shouldn't say my Hulk comics because If I had this, I would have had it graded by now. So I never forget, I saw a name that says Stan Lee. So I remember reading the comics, I said, what does Stan look like? You know, he's still with us, he's 95 years old. But I used to worship and read about Superman, the Hulk, because it's about power. G versus E. So that led me into bodybuilding training because, you know, I had to work harder than the average person to succeed. So when I was in school, I used to read comic books. I used to sneak the comic books between my textbook, and the teacher thought there was something wrong with me because, you know, this kid, Lou Ferrigno, reading comic books. I didn't care because it was my passion, and it gave me such incredible instant gratification because I was like a real-life Walter Mitty. And I used to read the comics, he satisfying thing, want to be like Hercules, want to be the Hulk, and all these dreams came true because you followed the dream. And I'm glad we had that because when I was young, I would give anything to come to a convention like this, to shake a celebrity hand. I didn't have that. So I used to go by the reading the comic books, like the Muscle magazine. But that was my whole life. But it's funny that fast forward like 55 years later, we have this incredible Comic-Con, you know, you have like A-list actors making this movie, like The Avengers, Thor, and you know, people come to see these kind of shows like pop culture, which is great because it's nothing to do with drug, sex, or violence. It's very exhilarating and it's fun. So I wanted to give you a little upper hand what I've been doing. I've been a deputy sheriff now for 14 years, which I enjoy doing. I got 3 films coming out. I'm doing everything. But you know, you only live once. And it's important to maximize and embrace your passion. Anything you're passionate about, embrace it because that what makes you rich. Don't compete with others, compete with yourself.
Wow.
So if anybody got any questions, raise your hand. Let's have some fun. I don't care how serious it is because I'm looking forward to spending time with you. Let's have some fun.
Sounds great. So if you have any questions, we're just going to go straight into it. Please raise your hand and I'll acknowledge you. All right, we have a gentleman over here, Mr. Jeff.
How you doing? It's Jeff. Was there ever a part in a role you were playing where you had to do a scene over and over and over and just wore you out? And the reason I'm asking is I did a little movie, and after 8 hours of shooting, I was spent because it was just take again, take again, take again, do it again, do it again.
That's an interesting question, Jeff. So, has there ever been any film where you had to do and take over and over and over again to the point where you were exhausted?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, with a couple of scenes, one of them, you remember the show, I filmed an episode called Married. It's an incredible Hulk TV series, Married. This is Bill Bixby, Married Harvey. It's like a dream sequence. So there's one scene that was like pouring rain, like a storm. So I had black jeans and a torn shirt, and ripped the shirt off. I'm running through the scene because to create the storm, they had this big airplane propeller blowing the rain and causing the storm. So I did the scene like 5 to 10 times. I was exhausted. So anyway, they called for a wrap. I go to the motorhome. About 15 minutes later, the producer comes in and says, listen, Lou, can you do the scene again? I said, believe me again, we have a major, major problem. You're supposed to wear blue jeans instead of black jeans. Now, today, with the special effect, they're going to correct it easily. So guess what? Back out there doing it again and again and again. And I'll tell you, well, when we get a chance to check it out, you see the way I looked at it, you wonder why I was so angry.
That was great. Well, it looks like we have a question up at the top there. Young lady in the pink dress. If you wouldn't mind coming out to the aisle so they can get to you easier.
What is your favorite superhero?
So her question is, what is your favorite superhero?
You mean besides the Incredible Hulk? I would say my favorite superhero growing up was Superman. I used to read a lot of Superman comics, and when I came home from school, I used to watch the original Superman TV series because, you know, when you're a kid, you're young, you think he's real. So I worship Superman. So one time I was looking out the second floor window, and I was watching Superman TV series. I put a red blanket around my neck and pretended to be Superman. I jumped out the window. I almost broke my leg. That was the end of Superman.
Wow. Okay, we have a question over here. The gentleman, oh, in the green. If you wouldn't mind getting to the aisle, that would help us all if you can go through your seats and get your way to the aisleway so they can get to you quicker. That would be a great help. So if anybody else has a question, if you want to make your way kind of out to the aisle, that would be great. Hi.
Would you ever like to play The Incredible Hulk again?
So he wants to know if you would like to play The Incredible Hulk again.
You know, I would love to, but I think it's because of CGI, you'll probably never see a human Hulk again. But you can't equate that CGI with a human Hulk, even though I do the voice, because I've done over 40 films, 5 different TV series. I think it could be the way it is CGI, but I'm moving on to do different things. They made a mistake though when they came back with the first Hulk feature film. They should have used me for motion capture, but Hank Lee directed it, did it himself, and that's why the movie didn't do very well in the box office.
All right, we have Mr. in the purple, and just to let everyone know, if you have a question, if you wouldn't mind making your way to the aisle ahead of time, that'll save us some time and get us more questions in.
Good evening, Mr. Ferrigno. So I grew up watching Pumping Iron. Inspired me as a child, got me into fitness. But one question they never answered in that movie: who benched more back then, you or Arnold?
Who benched more? Arnold did 440, I benched 560. You know something funny? When we made Pumping Iron, Arnold only weighed 228, he has 4 joints, I was 268. I retired after Pumping Iron, I did the Hulk series. I came back 17 years later, the age 42, and I was 325 pounds or 2% body fat because of the technology of training. It was a great movie, a fun movie, because when you watch it, most young people don't know what Pumping Iron is, but it really opened the door and showed the real of what bodybuilding was. You know, bodybuilding is a very difficult sport because you've got to be in great shape, you've got to be tan, you've got to be dieting, and the only downfall about bodybuilding, if you get the flu like a week before, it's done. It affects you. But it's a solo sport. I chose bodybuilding because of my hearing situation, because I love competing with myself. It's not a team sport. And it takes a lot for anybody today to be on stage, to pose, be in that kind of condition. Because now we have the 40, the 50 guys, 70 years old competing. So when it began with Pumping Iron, women back there weren't working out, just a guy thing, a male thing. But now everybody's working out. So it's funny when Arnold and I started in 1975, first prize was $750.
Wow.
I don't know what he looks like. They laugh about the film, but we've changed all that. So to be Arnold person, he's a great politician and he's done a lot for the sport. But I hate him all the time because, you know, coming from me, I mean, we're basically equal.
Do you have any more questions? Yes, ma'am. In the dress.
How did you transition from bodybuilding to acting?
Well, after I did Pumping Iron, I was training for the 1977 Miss Olympia competition. So at the time, it was 6 weeks before the competition, I was in the best shape of my life. After time, they were shooting The Incredible Hulk with Richard Kiel. Richard Kiel played Jordan and James Bond, he was 7'2". So one day, a boy walked on the set with his father, the father of the director, and the boy said to his father, "Dad, this is not the Hulk. He doesn't look like the muscle-bound guy in the comic book like you see in the comic book." They realized they had a problem. So they did a nationwide search call, casting call. So my phone rang that they were having an audition for the Hulk. An agent called me, "Would you like to come for your audition?" And I said to myself, I have 6 weeks, the best shape of my life, and this chance to win the Mr. Olympia. But I didn't want to pass up an opportunity because I loved the Incredible Hulk. I said, no one could play this part better than me. I went the next day for the audition. Of course, they painted me green. They wanted me to show the emotion. I was hired the next day, and the rest is history.
Yes, ma'am, in the green. Thank you all for your help.
Is Kevin James as funny in person as he is on screen?
Kevin James is funny in person as he is on screen.
You know what's funny? Most comedians like Kevin James are very quiet, very subdued in person. If Kevin walked here now, I mean, if he didn't say anything, you probably wouldn't think anybody. But you put in front of a camera, that man's phenomenal, so talented, and he's very smart, and I learned a lot from him. The way he plays the character. He's a sweet guy, great guy, very quiet, very personal, because most comedians are quiet because they're so used to have everybody expecting to be funny, crack a joke 24/7. They have a life to live. But Jerry Seal and Lee Remedy, they're great people, and the great cat. I had so much fun with them.
We had, someone else had a question over here. I saw a hand raised, and then it disappeared. Oh, yes, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
I've always been a huge fan of the Incredible Hulk when growing up, and I've always liked Bill Bixby, and I was just wondering how, he was, such an influence on you when you guys were working on the show.
So you want to know about Bill Bixby's influence on you during the show?
Well, Bill was great because Bill was a great actor, producer, and director. He was like a second father to me because when you're filming a TV series, you spend more time than you spend with your wife or your family home. We're talking about like 60, 80 hours a week. When I first came on to film, I didn't know anything about acting. So I watched Bill. Bill gave me a few tips. I watched how he acted because I was a big fan of his because he'd done Courtship and his father, the magician. So when I first arrived on the set, seeing him, I was like intimidated because, for being a bodybuilder, I've never been involved in acting. So he was very kind, very generous towards me. And I learned a lot because a couple of times he directed a few of the episodes. It was a lot of fun. But it's funny, most people thought he was just an actor. He was a producer and a great director. Unfortunately, he passed on at the age of 59 from prostate cancer.
Do you have any questions? Yes, sir, in the green. And then, sir, in the red, next.
Not green, blue.
Oh, yeah, there's another gentleman down there in red after you. I thought you said blue. It's fine.
Speaking of colors, the green that they used, did it have like any effect on you, your skin or anything like that?
Did the green paint or have any effect on your skin?
Yeah, my toenails were green for 9 months afterwards. The makeup took like 3 to 3.5 hours to put on because first they had a forehead piece and a nose piece. They used smear gum glue to apply it to my face, and they used grease makeup and powder it down. The body would be 4 coats of makeup. Back then we didn't have the spray stuff, so they had like a ball of clay, they would spray it and rub it in. 4 coats. And then another crew would come in to do the eyes, the wig, and teeth. So periodically they could only wear the eyes maybe 15 minutes at a time, like a hard contact lens. So I think it was about the second season. Usually I would film very late. I'll be the first one on the set and the last one to leave. The one night it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. They called a wrap. I said to the makeup person, my makeup person, listen, forget about the makeup. I'm driving home with the makeup on. So I got in my car. I'm on the freeway driving home, and there's an SUV next to me. The guy driving looks to the left and goes, "Holy!" and he screamed. And believe it or not, the SUV crashed into a bus. And I'm sitting in the car saying to myself, if I get pulled over, how will I explain this? I felt so bad. I mean, he literally crashed the SUV. I don't know if it's alive or not. Anyway, I made it home. That was the last time I ever got made up. I drove home with the makeup on.
That's a great story. Sir, in the red shirt there.
Besides power building and acting, do you have any other interests or hobbies?
Besides acting and power building, do you have any other interests or hobbies?
Other hobbies? Well, I love making furniture. I'm going back to it. I like to make furniture out of wood because I find it very therapeutic. Nice. Because I studied 4 years to be apprenticed in sheet metal. And also I've done a lot of woodwork when I was in high school, but I love creating and cutting and carving things out of wood like a power tool because of my passion. I enjoyed it. So I'm back doing that. And my other hobbies, being a sheriff, I teach weapon shooting, stuff like that. Because, I just like being creative for myself. And especially with woodworking, I find it very fascinating because it's amazing what you can do with it. So that's one of my favorite hobbies.
Yes, so right here.
Yes.
Would you mind waiting for the microphone?
Sorry. Yes, you did the second episode of the fan film series Star Trek Continues, where you played Orion Slaver. Was that makeup worse putting on than the Hulk makeup?
Yeah, he's talking about, if you go online, StarTrekContinue.com, it's the online Star Trek series. And the role they offered me is called Zalmahan. I play a slave trader from outer space to reclaim my slave. Now your question is, yes, much more difficult. They had a new technique that they put the green makeup on me, had a bald cap, goatee, and I looked like an evil person. So they sprayed my whole body in green, and they had a spray that would hold the green paint to the skin. And I was told afterwards, after about 4 or 5 hours of filming, that in order to remove it, you had to use baby oil to just rub it in. I said, okay. So I filmed all day, 6 o'clock come. I'm trying to get the makeup off, I can't. I have 5 women in the bathroom with me, bottles of baby oil. I'm not exaggerating, but I was literally almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to get the makeup off because of the chemical spray. Finally, I see the pink in my skin. I said, thank God. After this, I had to go back to the hotel and take a hot bath to get the rest of it off. And I had to go back to filming the next day, and I was now looking forward to it. Check it out. It's called Star Trek Continued.com, and the episode called Olani, and they played this evil guy, and you wouldn't want to be around him because he's such an evil person. But the reason why I was interested because the original Star Trek series, the Orion race was green, but unfortunately, I had to wear this makeup. I couldn't do it any other way, but beautiful to get a chance to check it out.
Very nice. Yes.
Hi, this is actually a question from my father, who introduced me to the Incredible Hulk series when I was just a child. He wants to know what it feels like to be recognized as the most iconic image of the Incredible Hulk.
You mean to be recognized today as the hero? Tell your father that I can make 10 Gone with the Wind movies, but I will always be the Incredible Hulk and the most beloved iconic character in the world.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you know this, when I first began this series, at the time, Captain America and Spider-Man failed in the TV series, so when I did the pilot of the Hulk, I was nervous because I was hoping to get picked up as a series, which it did because it basically laid all the groundwork. If it wasn't for the original Hulk series, you wouldn't see the adventure today or the great Marvel comic characters because it all falls back because the Hulk's so successful, and I'm glad I had that chance to be part of that success. But thanks to your father for that compliment because, the Hulk, I had a chance to travel every country in the world. And what's funny is my wife and I, we went to Tahiti for our honeymoon. And Tahiti, they have no TV. So I said to myself, this is fantastic. I could go on a beautiful honeymoon. Nobody could recognize me. I could walk on the beach. So anyway, we landed in Tahiti. We had to go to an island called Bora Bora. So we're on the boat with the propeller. It's like something out of Deer Hunter, that kind of movie. Anyway, we pulled up to the island. I get off the ship, I'm all excited, and I see the kids standing there with a whole comic book. That was the end of my honeymoon.
Now you've done a lot of things recently, including you've done several films recently, and some voiceover work. In fact, I recently saw an episode of Adventure Time where you did the voice of a character.
Really? Yeah.
Do you do voiceover work often?
Yeah, I do a lot of voiceover because the UPN animated cartoon series, I did the voice for the Hulk. They approached me about Adventure Time to play the character Billy because I've always wanted to do voiceover. You know what's funny? Many years ago when I was like 19, 20, I had difficulty speaking, and I was always told that you're not going to be able to speak perfectly like these other people. And I don't know if you know, the number one fear in life is public speaking. And as a kid, I was afraid to talk in front of people. So what I did for myself, I've studied what's called phonetic. And I've learned to talk by the feeling of my tongue. Because a lot of times when you have a speech impediment, you don't hear yourself. So I've learned to speak by the feeling of my tongue. Sometimes I put marbles on my mouth to learn to enunciate each word. And I did it over and over religiously until I got to a point the way I'm speaking now. But, the sky's the limit. So they gave me a chance to end up doing stage play and theater because as a kid I was always told you never amount to nothing. I had a very abusive father. It was a love-and-hate relationship because when I was born I was not the perfect son. So I had to carry his pain, his burden. So I got to the point I realized one day, I said, listen, this is not my pain, it's his pain, but I'm a bit better than what people beyond their expectation. So it's all about believing in yourself and trust yourself because I'm glad I did that. So the reason why I'm conveying this to you because every one of us is handicapped in one way, physically, mentally, spiritually, and all emotionally. It's all about how you feel about yourself. Do not ask for other people's approval. Give yourself approval. Nobody's better than anybody.
Yep.
Amen.
As we would say in the South here, you're taking us to church. That's what we would say here.
Amen.
Do we have any other questions? Sure. All right, well, if we wouldn't mind getting the microphone. Where did that microphone go? Okay. Thank you.
Have you ever been approached for the Expendable series, and would you ever do it if you were?
Expendable? I mean, if I was offered, I wouldn't mind doing it because I think it's great that slide.
Do it.
To get into all the actors to play the character, I think it's great. And, you know, if that happened, I definitely would love to do it because the beauty about acting, you can act a good dead.
Do it.
So, I think I got another 40 years.
Great. We had another question right here. You, ma'am?
I remember reading the story with Lou Ferrigno Jr. where he talked about the first time he saw you in the Hulk costume. He wasn't fully there, but you had to go chasing after him down the beach. What was your thought process chasing your son?
So she said she remembered hearing the first story about Lou Ferrigno Jr. seeing you as the Hulk for the first time and you having to chase him down the beach.
Well, what happened though, I came back, I did what you call the Return of the Hulk. Because when I did the series, I wasn't married, I didn't have any children. So when I did the Return of the Hulk, my son had to be maybe 10, 11 years old. So I remember I was in the mall home getting made up. So my wife planned to bring my son to the set. And I wanted to get made up at the Hulk, so he sees me at the Hulk because I've been telling him about it. So anyway, he comes to the motor home, I open the door, I said, Lou, how you doing? He looked at me and he slammed the door. And he turned to my wife and said, Mom, keep Daddy in the motor home and lock the door. And now he's 33 years old and he's the lead doing the TV series called SWAT for CBS. If you get a chance, check it out, SWAT. And he kind of my footstep. And he keeps saying, oh, I'm better actor than you. I'm fine, I'm not going to argue with you. And I said, you better be the Hulk. I have to tell you a funny story. When I was about 21, I was training for the Mr. Universe. And my first chance to compete. And I was living in New York back then. And back then, the contest was in Switzerland. So I didn't want to get a suntan. I was white as a ghost. So my chance to go to the beach. At the time, I was driving a Volkswagen, the green Volkswagen. So people thought I took the front seat out, sat in the back seat. They can't figure out how I sat, got inside the Volkswagen. So I go to the beach. It's about 12 o'clock. I'm riding around trying to find a parking spot. I can't find a spot. I go around 3 times. Just finally I see a small car like a Dash B210. Anyway, I'm looking around, no problem. So I left my Volkswagen next to it. I got in front of this car and I lifted in the air about 1 feet, 4 feet of the street. Then I went back up the car and I did the same thing to the car split away in the middle of the street. Then I took my Volkswagen and parked right into that spot. Then this guy, a rabbi, came down the street, screaming, yelling at me on top of his lungs, like foaming out of his mouth. I wanted to get away, get a suntan. Then you see a black and white. The cop gets out and sees this guy, the rabbi, you know, dressed as the rabbi, screaming, yelling at me. And he looked at me, and I looked at the cop, I didn't say nothing. The rabbi got a ticket for double parking. He got a second ticket for disturbing the peace. And he got a third ticket for assaulting a police officer. I got my suntan.
Wow, that's amazing. Do we have any other questions? Sir, yeah, over here in the far right. Or left, your right, I don't know. Left, right, whatever.
See ya.
Hi, I've got a 5-year-old little girl,
who has a speech impediment, and so randomly during the week they'll pull her out of class to help her. But sometimes when she comes back, like kids will tease her and make fun of her. Is there any way you could just say a few words I could record her just to help her with that?
Repeat the question, please.
His daughter's a speech impediment and sometimes gets made fun of, and he wondered if you had a few words for her of encouragement.
You say people make fun of her?
Like the kids, I mean, she's in kindergarten, so sometimes...
Well, you gotta remember one thing, children do not have the psychological defense to defend themselves. Now, when I was young, they used to call me Deaf Mute, Deaf Louie. I would go home and feel sorry for myself, but the important thing is that tell her that to not listen to let negativity bother her, because someday she can improve her speech, she can be more successful than all of them put together.
We have time for one more question. Okay, young man over here.
What's your favorite color?
Green! Anyway, I wanted to do a heartfelt Q&A, and I want to share my personal history with you. And no ego, no nothing, but get a chance. I'll be on side signing autograph. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming. Embrace your passion.
He has some photo ops tomorrow. We'll get to know what the photo ops are at 3:45 tomorrow and Sunday at 12:20. So let's give another round of applause for Mr.